number 7. The angle is given in radians because it says 4 pi over 3 instead of degrees. So I don't know if you guys remember this. The first number represented the length of the vector, and this represents the direction. So where is 4 pi over 3 at? How many degrees was pi worth? 180. Yes. So if you multiply by 4/3, you get 240. So you could change your calculator to radians, but it's probably easier just to turn it into degrees. So where's 240 at? Well, down here is 180. Here's 270, so 240 is kind of off in that direction. 240 would be 30 degrees short of 270. So if we make this a right triangle, you get a 30-degree angle. The length of the vector is 2. And we were supposed to find the x and the y coordinates to put it in component form. What are the x and y coordinates of that vector? Well, since it's a 30-degree angle, you guys remember the 30, 60, 90 triangle? If this is a 2 right here, what's the short leg over here? 1. If the short leg is 1, what's the long leg? Square root of 3. So, what would the x and y coordinate be? Alright, what did I do wrong there? The x coordinate, you're going left, square root of 3, so I should put negative. And the y is going down 1, so I should have put negative. Something is wrong. Says I got those backwards. What did I do? I multiply around 60, 240. 240 is 30 short. 270. Why would it be negative 1 and negative square root of 3? It's like this would be the 60. This is the triangle. The book is making a mistake. Well, we'll just keep it. Maybe the book made a mistake. They just put the x in the other direction. Alright, so number 9. This part's kind of easy. So, vector u is 3, 1. Vector v, negative 8, 4. Vector w, negative 6, 2. Negative 6, negative 2. And, okay, for a, we're supposed to add vectors u and v. So you just add the x coordinates and add the y coordinates, and that would be the answer. So 3 plus negative 8 is negative 5. 1 plus 4, positive 5. B, vector u minus vector v. So 3 minus negative 8, which would be 3 plus 8, 11. 1 minus 4. C, it says 3u plus w. We did 3 times u, multiply those both by 3, plus the w over here. So 9 plus negative 6 is 3. 3 plus negative 2 is 1. There, D. Okay, so D says absolute value of 3u plus w. So remember that meant find the magnitude, which meant find the length of the vector. How do we find the length of a 3, 1 vector? That it's the magnitude of C. So how do we find the length of C? You guys remember doing this yesterday? Basically it's going right 3 and up 1. So the length would be 3 squared plus 1 squared equals magnitude squared. So 3 squared plus 1 squared is 10. So you do the square root of 10. Number 11. All right, u plus half of w. Half of w would be half of negative 6, half of negative 2, negative 3, negative 1, plus u is 3, 1. Well, what would that be? 0, 0, which is basically nothing. So it's called the 0 vector. So you just put a 0. You don't put like 0, 0. Just put 0. Okay. B is to find the magnitude of the 0 vector. How long is the 0 vector? 0. 0 long. C, they want us to find the magnitude of u plus the magnitude of 1/2 w and then add those together. So how long is u? 3, 1. We actually did a 3, 1 earlier, if you guys remember. I kind of erased it down here, but 3, 1 is square root of 10 long. Plus 1/2 of w. W was 1/2 of w was negative 3, negative 1. So it's basically also a 3, 1. So this would be a square root of 10 as well. So square root of 10 plus square root of 10 is 2 square root of 10. So on 13 we're supposed to find the point that is 1/2 of the way from AB. So it's kind of like vector AB. This one's kind of easy, definitely easier than 14 is. Vector AB. So if A is at 0, 0 and point B is at 6, 3, what would vector AB be? How much is the x value increasing? 6. How much is the y value increasing? 3. So vector AB is 6, 3. So if you want to go halfway on 6, 3, where are you going to end up at? 1.5, just half of that. On 14, you don't start at 0, 0. So you first need to figure out what vector AB is. So how much is the vector increasing in the x direction? 4. And how much is it increasing in the y direction? Negative 8. It's going down from 4 to negative 4 is dropping 8. So you just do 1/4 times the So you just find the vector between them, multiply by a fourth. Okay, so, same thing. We're in the same section. So on 15, 7, -2, 2, 8. So first question is, what is vector AB? How do we get from 7 to 2? Well, you'd have to drop 5. If you weren't sure, you could just do 2 minus 7, 8 minus -2. You subtract this way, and it would give you the values. How do you get from -2 to 8? That's going up 10. So the vectors AB is -5, 10, and we're supposed to do 4/5 of that. So if we multiply those by 4/5, we get -4. 4/5 times 10, +8. Going from -7, -4 to -1, -1. So how do we get from -7 to -1? Or what's -1 minus -7? That would be going up 6. From -4 to -1, that would be going up 3. And we're supposed to go 3/5 of the way on this one. Which doesn't work out very nicely, but 3/5 of 6. 6 over 1 times 3 over 5 is 18 over 5. I'm just going to leave it like that. 3 over 1 times 3 over 5 is 9 over 5. Alright. 21, last one, right? Okay. Suppose you pull a child in a wagon by pulling a rope that makes a 60-degree angle with the ground. Alright, let's draw that. So here's the wagon. If the rope is a 60-degree angle with the ground, it's going to be a 60-degree angle with the bottom of the wagon too. So that's a 60. So anyway, so that'd be a 30. This is the person's hand. Okay, if the pulling force is 40 pounds in the direction of the rope, so the rope is going, you're pulling this way. So that would be your 40 pounds. And the horizontal and vertical components is what we're looking for. So how much force is being directed in the X direction? That's the horizontal force. And how much force is being used in the Y direction? If you're pulling up at a 60-degree angle, a lot of your force will be not helping you pull the wagon. Have you ever pulled your friend or sibling or something in the wagon keeps doing wheelies because you're pulling fast? It's because a lot of the force is going up instead of out. Okay, anyways. It's a 60-39. I didn't draw it very well, but we can use, here, I'll draw it better. We can use special triangles to solve this one. So if the hypotenuse is 40, the short leg is 20. If the short leg is 20, the long leg is 20 squared root of 3. So how'd they write that? Okay, they wrote it in parentheses form. So 20 in the X direction, the horizontal direction, and 20 squared root of 3 in the vertical direction. So you have more force going up than you do going out. Which component, horizontal, okay, that's kind of a dumb question. Which component, the horizontal or the vertical, moves the wagon? Horizontal. This moves the wagon. The vertical makes the wagon do wheelies. Horizontal. If the rope made this is C, 50-degree angle with the ground rather than a 60-degree angle, would the wagon move more easily or less easily? So if this angle went down to 50 with the ground, so it dropped a little bit, would the wagon move better or worse? Better. Or the way they put it was more easily. Why? More force is directed in the horizontal. Let's see how they put it. The horizontal component is greater. I like mine the way I said it better. More force is directed